the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the virtual Pocono Raceway for tonight's final event of the first season of the OP Throwback Series. My name is Dawson Wise. You're catching all the action here on the Turn 3 Racing Network as we finish up our season in style here in the Pocono Mountains. Exciting event on tap for you here tonight. I cannot wait to wrap this season up the right way and to race this thing out. I appreciate everyone that's come out so far. I appreciate you for coming out here tonight as everyone is coming in here on a Thursday night. Glad to have everybody out there in the chat. Get the chat going. Tell me who you're cheering for here tonight in the field, and we will get it going here in just a few moments. Before we do anything, we're going to go trackside for pre-race ceremonies and the playing of our national anthem.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back to the virtual Pocono Raceway. Again, my name is Dawson Wise. You are watching here live on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight's finale, the season finale for the OP Racing Throwback Series, this first return season for this series. And as we reflect here on the end of the season, these drivers will all be reflecting here as we go into the off season, into the break. And as I begin to reflect, I do want to firstly say thank you to Alex Green, the big boss man at OP, for giving me the opportunity to call these races. He came to me a few weeks into the season to ask if I have any interest in broadcasting a series like this, a throwback series with the Gen 4 cars and the kind of product that we'd be getting, and I said absolutely. It's a unique series for OP where we're so used to the super speedway product on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, and we don't really get a chance to branch out, and this series has given us an opportunity to branch out. And race other tracks, race other disciplines that require a whole different racecraft, an entirely different style, an entirely different skill set. And it's brought in a new group of drivers as well, a new established group of drivers and guys that I have enjoyed calling their races throughout the season. And what a season it has been, nonetheless. I mean, the moments we've had, the the battles we've had, notably between Tyler Bentley and Isaiah Dupree early in the season. What a few weeks that was, where they just could not seem to get away from each other. We've had great performances, and we'll talk about Tyler Bentley as we go on throughout the night, but you can't help but talk about Matt Hayden, the season that he's had, Chad French, the season that he's had, the two rookies that came in midseason, took the league by storm, Hunter Carlson and Christian Strader. They're both in the field tonight as well. You had some of our regulars from our Super Speedway series as well. The boss man Alex Green, Adam Kilday's in the field tonight. Travis Elliott ran majority of the races and ran very well. Sebastian Marin came in, got a couple of wins over the course of the season. Peter DeBorgia, we saw him run last week in Sonoma. So you saw a whole different crowd, an entirely different racing style, and what an opportunity it's been for me. And I'm grateful for this opportunity, and I look forward to the future. And we'll talk about that throughout the night as well, but I look forward to coming back for more of this. We'll talk about what lies ahead as we get into the broadcast tonight, and also at the tail end as well. But I did just want to say thank you to the audience for coming out and watching these guys. They appreciate it. I appreciate it. It gives an audience to a great style of racing. It's been such a cool time capsule to look back at the prime of NASCAR and to get to run these machines. It's a look into the past. It's a look into NASCAR's heyday, and what an opportunity it's been for me. One final race remains here tonight in Pocono, and I'll tell you what, I'm really excited. This is a unique track. 3 very unique corners, the highly banked turn 1, the high-speed, high-banked turn 1, the slower, more finesse tunnel turn there, turn 2, which you'll get to see on the drone here in a moment, and then the flat, wide turn 3 that brings you onto the front stretch, the long front straightaway here at Pocono that creates some incredible racing. I have no doubt in my mind that we will have some great racing here over the course of tonight's race, and as we crown a champion. And now we'll get into talking about the man of the hour, and that is Tyler Bentley. He's not currently on track. I was going to try to spotlight him, but he's not currently on the racetrack. He is our champion in the OP Racing Throwback Series here in season number 1. He locked the championship up last week in Sonoma, and tonight a celebration for him, certainly a time of reflection as he becomes an OP Racing champion and our first champion here in the return of the Throwback Series. And we will get to talk to Tyler later on after the race. If he's on the podium, we'll talk to him. If not, we'll get a word with our champion here tonight, Tyler Bentley in the 55. But what a dominant season it's been for him. 8 wins in 15 races up to this point. Two three-peats where he won 3 races in a row. You can't say enough about the performance of Tyler Bentley. He's for sure been the car to beat over the course of the season. And, he's probably going to say this later when we get to talk to him, but just what a season it's been. A time to reflect on the performance that he put out and the consistency that we saw out of the driver of the 55. And, certainly he has been the man atop the field this season. And we'll ask him tonight his reflections of this season, as well as what he looks forward to accomplishing now that he's got this under his belt. Qualifying is about to get underway. I believe we've got 12 cars off the haulers tonight for our championship race, and we look forward to that in just a few minutes. We're just hitting 9 o'clock on the East Coast. As you get in here, share the link. You share it to your friends, share it to your family members. If you know someone in this field, if you know someone that knows someone in this field, get that link out. Get them over here to Turn 3 Racing Network, and let's end this season off with a bang here. Get a big audience for these guys as they close what has been a memorable season here of the OP Racing Throwback Series. We'll continue to give an aerial view of the Pocono Raceway as qualifying gets onto the racetrack. And what a season it's been for more than just that. I mean, the restrictor plate racing earlier in the season was fantastic. We fully expected that out of this package. I think the 1.5 mile in intermediate racing has been outstanding as well. Just the quality of racing that we've seen over the course of this season so far, it's just been a privilege to get to watch these guys go to work every week and watch them figure out these cars and figure out these tracks and figure out this combo. And I hope that you have had the same enjoyment that I have to this point in the season. I hope we can end it off with a great race here tonight. Qualifying is on the racing surface here in Pocono for one final Thursday night, at least for now. We will briefly touch on what's coming. I'll talk about this multiple times throughout the night. Season 2 of the OP Racing Throwback Series will be coming to you here in several weeks. We're not exactly sure of a time frame yet, but there will be an off-season period here between the 2 seasons to rebuild the format, if you will, make some changes, make some tweaks. As there you see our champ Tyler Bentley sliding around turn 3 as he goes for his qualifying run. But we'll be making some tweaks to the format, some tweaks to the schedule. The first half like I talked about last week, follows the first half of the 2001 Winston Cup Series schedule. The second half plans to follow the second half of the Winston Cup Series schedule in season number 2, as some interesting tracks to look forward to. I know Atlanta is in the mix. Another trip to Daytona, we imagine, will open the season with a Pepsi 400 to begin our season. Next season, when we have Chicagoland, Loudon, Kansas, I believe, is still on there as well as several other big-time venues that we have yet to visit here in this series. So look forward to that. Look forward to what we got coming from you. Hit the subscribe button now. Hit the notification bell on Turn 3 Racing Network. We will have all the action here for you on Thursday nights coming in the next season of Thursdays, at least as much as we can get it out to you. But tonight, a fun race lies ahead here in Pocono. Like I said, a very unique race, as you're going to see Tyler Bentley flash by the start-finish line there and put his first lap down, about a tenth off the lead right now for our reigning champ, as he will take his second lap, I would imagine. Christian Strader goes to the pole, and he may call it quits on the pole so far. And as we get into this race, it's interesting to see the stories of some of these guys. You know, Bo Benham wins Daytona to open the season. It's been a quietly pretty good season for him. Matt Hayden, not able to find victory lane, but has been one of the more consistent drivers in the field week in and week out. We talked a lot about Tyler Bentley already. Chad French, the same as Hayden, not able to find victory lane. Perhaps tonight is the night for Grease Lightning in the 93. If he can get to victory lane, Christian Strader, Hunter Carlson as well, the rookies that have just come in and stormed the league. They've been the newcomers all season long, at least the period that they have been here, and what a season it's been for those two, as Strader continues to look for another victory. Matt Hayden goes to the top of the qualifying chart. So right when I said he hadn't reached victory lane, he goes right to the top of the chart. And, well, there you have it. Maybe tonight's the night for Matt Hayden as well. And we have some other guys in here, you know, that you can't help but mention. Travis Elliott. How about the consistency of him? How many times did we talk to him at the end of a race on the podium? Travis Elliott, certainly one of the more established drivers coming into this season in terms of OP recognition, and he got the job done on several of the intermediate tracks. He has shown a lot of speed this season, certainly has shown a lot of potential to get to victory lane. Hasn't had it happen yet, but he looks forward to maybe potentially getting an opportunity to go to victory lane here in our final race of the season, as qualifying is getting ready to wrap up. It is awfully close to getting these guys onto the grid and underway for our final event of the season. I can't believe we're already in the 16th and final race. It does not feel like we are at the end of the season already. That's how fast this season has gone. I hope you all have enjoyed the content over the past 16 weeks, over the past about 11 weeks that we've had here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And like I said earlier, I have certainly enjoyed my time here calling Thursdays for you, taking you through all of the action. 30 seconds left. One more opportunity to tell your friends the Turn 3 Racing Network's got Throwback Racing here on a Thursday night. We look forward to what is ahead of us here from Pocono in just a quick moment, as you know, what an exciting season we're about to come up on as well. This series will start back up. The Super Speedway series are in full swing now, as Mondays got underway a few days ago. Wednesday's in full swing. We had a race last night that I happened to finish second in, so a fun race last night over on the Turn 3 Racing Network from Daytona. The Saturday series in full effect as well. We got a ton of money racing. We'll talk about that later. And as we inch closer to Daytona 500 season, the big events are only going to continue to get bigger, going to continue to get closer. And we look forward to some excitement coming up in that regard as well. The drivers are getting onto the grid here for the first time tonight from the Pocono Raceway. And the first guy on the grid was Christian Strader. We'll get a look at his machine as he gets ready to go into the green flag for the first time here tonight. Waiting for pole sitter Matt Hayden. And with that said, we're going to get you to your starting grid from the Pocono Raceway for the final event of this season. Matt Hayden on the pole tonight with a time of 54.467. To his outside will be Christian Strader in the 12. Row 2, Tyler Bentley in the 55. To his outside, Grease Lightning. The 93 of Chad French, actually rocking a new paint job this week with a Grease Lightning branding aboard that Chevrolet. Row 3, Cody Eldred in the Sharpie Chevrolet. is outside to be Hunter Carlson in the 2. Travis Elliott starts from 7th tonight with Eric Kosciolek in the 8th position, and rounding out the top 10, it'll be Jimmy Fitzmaurice and the boss man, Alex Green. Bo Benham starts from 11th, and shotgun on the field tonight in position number 12, it will be Adam Kilday. Those are the 12 that will settle this one tonight as we await the final winner of the OP Racing Throwback Series season. The cars are off the grid. They are rolling down towards turn number 1 behind the pace vehicle. And we are ready to get this final race of the season underway from Pocono. You see it there on the tower. 80 laps of racing are on tap tonight from the Pocono Raceway. A fuel run about 13 or 14 laps, so expect a heavy dose of pit stops tonight as these guys get ready to end this season with a bang. We're excited you're here. I'm excited to be here. We're ready to get it going. As you'll see, a parade lap here on the Pocono Raceway as these guys get ready to go to battle here for 80 laps of racing here tonight. Matt Hayden, the throwback Dale Earnhardt Jr. look on his Chevrolet. A Busch-style paint scheme for Christian Strader. Tyler Bentley, a brand new Buckeye Racing, I believe it's the Buckeye Racing Network aboard that Ford Taurus. Tonight he's been driving a Pontiac Grand Prix. Tonight makes the switch to the Fords and runs a Taurus. And then the Chevy of Chad French. We've seen him run a Ford all season. Tonight back in the Chevrolet colors with the yellow and black Race Lightning paint job aboard that Chevrolet. We're ready to get this one underway. I hope you are as well. A great night of racing lies ahead as we crown our champion officially and wrap up what has been a great season of Throwback Series racing. Thank you one more time from the bottom of my heart for coming out here, letting me ramble to you about racing, letting me call these races and give these guys an audience. What a season it's been, and let's now end it off with a bang. Matt Hayden comes off turn number 3 here in Pocono to the long front straightaway. You're going to get to view right down this long front stretch. Matt Hayden, as the pace car takes the dive down to pit road, has the field in hand, waiting on the green flag. There it is, green flag. We are underway in the finale for the OP Racing Throwback Series. Up off turn 1 and under the long pond straightaway for the first time, and Matt Hayden drives away with a healthy lead, about a car length here over Christian Strader, and now Tyler Bentley, who slots right into 3rd. Strader half a car length on the bumper of the 6. The Budweiser Chevrolet tonight for Matt Hayden through the tunnel turn for the first time now, rolling down towards the flat turn number 3. Hayden opens up a 3-car length lead on Christian Strader as he opens up a 2-car length lead on Tyler Bentley. Wide arc here for Matt Hayden, right down to the curb, puts the lefts right above that curb there on the inside of turn number 3. On the long straightaway for the first time, they're finally all the way up to speed. Lap 1 in the books. Matt Hayden still the leader in Pocono. Strader 2-car lengths back. Bentley trailing in 3rd. Chad French into 4th. And how about Travis Elliott, the man on the move so far? He's up 2 spots and up to 5th. Off turn number 1, and now back onto the long pond straightaway one more time. Bentley now under attack here from Chad French. That's for 3rd. As Bentley looks to wrap up what has been a dominant season for him. Matt Hayden looks to get to victory lane here for the first time in this season. Same with Christian Strader in the 12. As they both look to get 1 spot better than they've been this season so far. Hayden opened up a huge lead, now about 6/10 over Christian Strader as he settles in nicely to this first pit run. Through the flat turn 3 and now back onto the front stretch. Strader continuing to trail here. Hayden by now about 0.5 of a second, make it half a second here off turn number 3. Hayden drops down, tries to break the toe all the way down towards turn 1. It's a really long straightaway. You're carrying a ton of speed here into turn number 1. Next time by, I'll give you an idea of exactly how fast they're moving. When they get down to that corner, Strader blinks. He's back. Still about half a second now holding steady. Strader's found something here early on in the run. Notably, Jimmy Fitzmaurice, Alex Green have both picked up a spot as Fitzmaurice bounces off the wall. Kosciolek gets in front of Bo Benham. That's for 10th. No real huge battles here on the racetrack. This is a track that is very finesse-based. It's going to single out for a majority of this race, I would imagine. All the battles, you have to pick and choose and carefully advance your position At a track like Pocono, the lead stretched to about 0.6 of a second so far. As one more time off turn number 3, Matt Hayden tries to continue to build the lead here over Christian Strader as we're about a quarter way to our first fuel run, the first pit run of the night. We'll see if Strader's got anything on the longer run here for Matt Hayden, or if Matt Hayden's going to be the car to beat. So far, 0.7 the lead. Off into turn number 1. Goes to 6. You see he's running a little bit higher than Christian Strader and the remainder of the field. He runs about a half lane off the bottom that time. Up off the curbs. Able to really rotate that car through the middle of the corner and get up off of that corner onto the Long Pond straightaway. I'll tell you what. Strader's got something for him down the Long Pond straightaway off the exit of turn number 1. It's consistently been his best point in the racetrack. Hayden has now moved his lineup in turn 2 as well. Actually, this may have been a little bit of a mistake as Strader picks up a 1/10.5 there through turn 2. So the gap's back down to half a second. See if he runs high here in turn 3 as well, or if he drops down to the curbs. He's going to run about a half lane off the curb. Now turns to the left. Strader pulls within 3.5 tenths, but now you see that gap start to fade just a little bit, and we'll give you an idea how fast these guys are rolling off into turn number 1. Alex Green into the wall. Bo Benham into the wall further back. They get it back going. And here off into turn number 1, Hayden up to about 192 off into turn number 1. These guys are flying so far here from Pocono. Strader pulls it to within about 4.5 tenths. Now slides the car a little bit on exit. Battle for third still somewhat ongoing here as Chad French tries to reel in Tyler Bentley. But it's all happening behind the 6 of Matt Hayden. 5 laps have come and gone already here from Pocono. A quick 5 laps. They're running lap times so far in the range of about 54 seconds. Now they're up into the 55s. That will continue to fade as the run goes on. The tires get older. We'll have to see also the dynamic track plays a part tonight. I don't know how many distinct lines there's going to be at a track like Pocono, but perhaps you move a lane, a half a lane, and maybe it could even give you some help. French right back to the back bumper of Tyler Bentley. Strader starts to pick up a little bit more time here on Hayden, who has moved all the way up to that second lane. Now Strader moves a half lane off the bottom. He's trying to find some speed as well. Can he do it? Battles on for third. Bentley gets a little bit loose. That's going to allow Chad French, Grace Light in the 93, to get almost to the left rear quarter panel. He can smell third place, but has to back out. Resets for the tunnel turn. Behind the brand new Buckeye Racing Network Nitro 55 Ford Taurus of Tyler Bentley. They will continue to race. Meanwhile, the race for the lead has started to close up as well. This is as close as Christian Strader has been to this point in the race. He pulls within 0.3. Hayden slides, so does Strader. 0.3 of a second separate the leaders. At the line now, Hayden dekes him. Goes bottom, now comes right back up to the top, says I'm just going to hold my line and get a better entry here into turn number 1. Strader within 0.3. What can he do on entry? Not a whole lot. Hayden runs a half lane off the curb. Strader runs about a quarter lane off the curb. Hayden gets the better of him, but they hold even for the most part on the Long Pond straightaway. Great finesse driving early from these two as lap 7 is on the board. Take a look at the chat while these guys continue to try to battle it out. Tim Henderson. Root for Tyler Bentley tonight. He's locked up the championship. We'll see if he can get a victory to crown his season with a bang tonight. Hayden's in the chat. Hayden's been here a lot of the weeks that I've done this. I want to thank you, Hayden, for coming out week after week, rooting on Chad French. I'll tell you what, tonight he was blistering fast over a long run in practice. We'll see if that remains the case. Strader pulls to within 0.2 here on the front stretch. This is the closest he has been. He now pulls within a car length. Make it a half a car length. These guys are under a blanket. Here going into turn number 1. Can Strader take a look? Hayden bounces off the wall. It's going to mess up his entry. Does he go a little bit wide? Not really. Has to back it up just a little. Strader goes a lane lower now down by the curb. How much does Hayden lose here on exit of turn number 1? Not a ton. Still 0.2, about a car length between our two leaders. Adam Green in the chat room for Alex Green. Adam, good to see you. Missing you on the racetrack tonight in the 777. Matt Hayden, Christian Strader separated by a car length or less here on the short shoot towards turn number 3. And Tyler Bentley has slowly started to reel in this battle. He's 0.7 back of the two leaders. He saved his stuff, and now he starts to make a run at it. Here comes Strader. 0.1. It's within a car length. Both guys sliding way loose here off turn number 3. Strader may have a look at him right here Let's see. Start-finish line, 1/10 separate the leaders, half a car length. He's on the bumper. Does he take the look? He starts to fade low, now fades back in line and backs up the corner, tries to get him on exit. Going to try to roll the center is Strader. He knew Hayden would go off in there pretty deep and defend his position. Strader actually not able to gain a whole lot there on entry of turn number 1. Figured he'd be a little bit more aggressive on entry instead. He decides to ride in line and hang behind the 6 of Matt Hayden. Through the tunnel turn, here comes Strader once again. He begins to creep up closer to the back bumper of the 6. He's done this a couple laps in a row. He's even closer this time than he was the last couple. What can he get off turn number 3? He's been good on this end of the racetrack. He's been good at carrying the momentum off turn number 3. He's definitely going to have a look at him right here, I would imagine, unless he gets severely loose. He will. Does Strader take a look this time? Hayden down to the defensive line. Does Strader maybe try to deke him high? At the line, they're still in each other's tire tracks. Strader staying right in the ski lines of the 6 of Matt Hayden. A little bit surprising he didn't try to deke him and go high there, but now he gets a really good turn 1. This is the best turn 1 he's had on the back bumper of Hayden so far in this race. 10th and a half now separate our 2 leaders. Chad French, by the way, has reeled in Tyler Bentley one more time, just a little bit. Now Strader up to the back bumper of Matt Hayden, off into the tunnel turn. Once again, Strader a half lane lower, now right into the wake of the 6 of Hayden. Now make it a half lane lower again. Hayden up off turn number 2. This for sure is as close as he has been. What can he do off turn 3? Like I said, been good on this end of the racetrack. He's got to make the momentum work here. Hayden goes to the defensive line about a half lane off the curb. Strader looks to the inside quarter panel. Not quite there. He's very close. Does he take a look this time? No. Stays up on the outside trying to carry some momentum. The problem with this is they're fighting each other so hard they're not realizing Tyler Bentley has closed this up to about a half a second, and Chad French is following him into this battle. Now does Strader have a run to the inside? Maybe had to lift just a little bit to stay off the 6 of Hayden. Up off turn number 1, long pond straightaway. A perfect opportunity to get a run. Strader within a 10th and a half one more time. Tyler Bentley within half a second. Chad French within 3/4 of a second. What a battle this has turned into for the lead. Oh, Hayden goes a little bit wide there in 2. Strader takes a look to the inside but fades back in line. Bentley within 3/10, about a car length off the back bumper of the 12 of Strader. To turn 3, Bentley a half lane lower than both leaders. Strader a half lane lower than Matt Hayden. Now he gets to the inside. He's to the quarter panel of the 6. Off turn 3 and racing down the long straightaway. Who does Bentley go with? He goes to the outside with Matt Hayden. Strader, not a lot of help. Not a lot of draft in behind him, but they are side by side for the race lead. Headed back towards turn number 1. Strader. Oh, Hayden gets the outside wall. Can he get it on exit here? Strader rolls up the hill, trying to clear across the 6. Matt Hayden back to the outside. Strader drives it back to the bottom, clips the curbs. Hayden maintains the lead. Here comes Tyler Bentley, the champion. Strader takes the gap between the 6 and the 55. What a move by Christian Strader to fill that gap and maintain second place. Excellent racing here at the front of the field between our front 4 so far. Strader will now have to reset. He'll have to try it again. Hayden slipped up. A perfect opportunity for Strader to just run his own line, run the corner, and be able to pass Matt Hayden. Now he's in his tire tracks here in turn 3. Does this work for him? Oh, it definitely does. He's right back to the back bumper of the 6 of Matt Hayden. What can he do here off turn 3? Takes another look. Does he take a second look? No. Bentley stays in line behind him. Front 4 under a blanket. Cody Eldred, by the way, has taken 5th from Travis Elliott, and they continue to battle further back there at the tail end of this draft. Into turn number 1 one more time. We expect a pit stop here in the next lap or 2 for our leaders. For now, though, the track position battle outstanding between these 4 cars so far. Matt Hayden by far the best on a short run. I think Strader and Bentley have something for him on a long run. And a long run tonight, not going to be that long. We're going to see about 5 pit stops on a 14-lap run. And potentially could be even more than that. They can only go 13. Might be 6 pit stops tonight. Pit stops will play an integral part of winning tonight's race, and certainly we're about to see one right here. As they come through turn 3, the long turn 3, they got to communicate with each other if they're going to come to pit road. Who's going to dive off first? None of our leaders. So the leaders stay on the racetrack. Looks like everybody stays on the racetrack, so we come off turn number 3 and off towards turn number 1 one more time. We'll keep an eye on the battle for the lead. It's cooled off the slightest bit as Strader's had to reset, but now really uses the curbs to rotate the car in the center, and all of a sudden He may hang a left here off turn number 1. Oh, I would have taken it wide if I was him. Maybe tried to get in behind him at first and then pull left. The end of the straightaway instead, he stays right in the tire tracks. Into the tunnel turn again. Now he runs about a quarter lane higher. He's starting to test for speed late in the run. Hangs a left. Now Bentley hangs a left on him. This is for second. Tyler Bentley, are they 3 wide? They are for the race lead. 3 wide in turn 3. Hayden all the way up to the top. He's going to have the most momentum. Bentley loses his. Strader, can he hang on to the car? Everybody's loose here off turn number 3. Hayden somehow carries the momentum and maintains the lead. Strader back in line. Bentley may not hang in line for very much longer. He's going to take a peek here to the inside of Strader. Strader looks a half lane higher than Hayden now in turn 1. He's trying to find some speed. Oh, and he's got some speed. Christian Strader's found something on the outside of the racetrack. Bentley's gotten to his inside, though. He's got nowhere to go. Now pulls left as soon as he clears Tyler Bentley for the race lead. Here comes Christian Strader in the 12. Side by side to the tunnel turn they go. Strader, does Hayden back out of it? Yes, he does. New leader in Pocono, Christian Strader in the 12. Bentley through to second over Matt Hayden, and that was an incredible 8-lap stretch between these 4 cars, and it's not over yet. Bentley looks for the lead here in turn number 3. Strader up to the outside, trying to carry the same momentum Hayden did last time, side by side now for the race lead again. Off turn number 3 on the long straightaway. Bentley able to maintain serve here off turn number 3, and now we race side by side towards 1. Cody Eldred pits, dead even pretty much at the line between Bentley and Strader. It's going to be whoever gets the better turn 1. Strader, Bentley, who's going to blink first? Off into turn number 1, potentially the 2 fastest cars of the day, battling for the lead. Strader rolling up the hill. Is he going to have to lift? Maybe just a little. New leader in Pocono, Tyler Bentley, the champion in the 55, takes the lead from Christian Strader here on lap 16. Fantastic stuff from our leaders in the early portion of this race. Strader will reset. Matt Hayden will reset. And now we'll try to go back to work, getting back to the back bumper of Tyler Bentley. We noted he might have saved a little bit more tire than the remainder of the field. And perhaps does appear to be the case. Come off turn 3. Are they going to pit? All 4 of the leaders going to pit at the same time. Great stuff. This is great stuff. Travis Elliott comes to pit road. Hunter Carlson comes to pit road. Adam Kilday. Bo Benham come to pit road. Alex Green. So everybody's on pit road now. The question will be, can Cody Eldred get the lead by short pitting here off of the pit lane? He's headed for turn 3. Running a decent pace. Will the short pit give him an advantage? Off turn 3 down the long straightaway. Leader still on pit road. Eldred not going to quite maintain the lead as Matt Hayden jumps the 2 in front of him. Strader and Bentley are side by side off pit road. Bentley's going to get the spot. Strader going to have to settle to 3rd. Chad French will settle nicely in the 4th position. And now all of a sudden, no momentum here off turn 1 for Matt Hayden. He did not get a great turn 1 there off pit road. Bentley goes back to the lead. Strader looking to go back to 2nd. The battle will continue to be on there for that position. Into the tunnel turn, lap 17 on the board. Pit stop 1 is done. We expect now 3 total pit stops, or excuse me, make it 4 total pit stops for these drivers here tonight in Pocono. Catch your breath. Take a second, as I will here for a moment after an exhilarating sequence, but don't take very long a breath because Strader is right back to work on the back bumper of Tyler Bentley. I mean, this is outstanding. Some of the best racing we have seen to this point in the season. I'll tell you, Cody Eldred by short pitting gained about 3.5 seconds. And now sits only about 2 seconds off our battle for the lead. We'll see if he's got anything for the leaders. Strader runs that higher lane. I don't know on new tires how much it'll work. Let's see if it gets him anything. Does it get him to the quarter panels? Tyler Bentley slams the door on Christian Strader. Oh boy, he closed the door in his face there off turn number 1. Strader had to lift out. I think he might have gotten to his quarter panel had Bentley not slammed the door in his face. Hayden over the curbs. He slides just a little bit in front of Chad French. Now slides again, and so this will become a 2-horse race for the race lead here in turn 3. Does Strader go back to the outside? Well, maybe a quarter lane higher. Peeks the nose out from behind Tyler Bentley. He's been so good on this end of the racetrack, though. You know he's going to pick up some ground off turn 3 and on the long straightaway. Battle for third is Chad French. How about Grease Lightning going by Matt Hayden? The battle will be on behind our leaders for that. Luckily, in this camera frame, you can see both battles. Schrader continues to work on Tyler Bentley. Goes right back to the outer line. It really allows him to rotate. This time, no shutting the door for Tyler Bentley. Schrader able to get right to his outside. And Tyler Bentley should be taking notes right now. That line for a little bit later in the race. Schrader the first one to make it work. He goes back to the lead here in the tunnel turn. And once again, Bentley will have to get to work on the back of the 12. He drops about 4 car lengths there on the exit of turn number 2. And you see the amount of momentum he was able to carry. Did Christian Schrader right there. I mean, that was intense. How much momentum he was able to carry on the exit of turn number 1. And now opens up a half a second lead here on Bentley, who appears to be saving. May have put one fight up for the lead, but now that he's lost the lead, may go back to saving here. Well, now that I say that, pulls back to within 4/10 as Chad French and Matt Hayden continue to battle for the 3rd position. We're getting news that Hunter Carlson received a speeding penalty. He's gone a lap down as we reach a quarter of the way through this one from Pocono. So a tough break for Hunter Carlson. Will need the benefit of a caution to get back on the lead lap, to even have a chance to get back on the lead lap. A tough break for him early in the going of this final race of the season. Schrader's opened up a 4/10 lead over Tyler Bentley. You can take a breath here for a moment. You can relax. The battle for the lead has cooled just a tad. And these guys will start to work into a rhythm here after what was an incredible first 15 laps. Fun to call. I'm sure fun to race for these guys. And the battle's not over by any means. Bentley still well within striking distance of Christian Schrader. And Chad French is starting to join the party as well. Hasn't lost any time to our leaders. So don't count Grease Lightning out here as well in the 93. The long straightaway one more time. Schrader's trying to set into a groove here and really get to work. He is really making that second seam work in turn 1. Bentley's still stubborn enough to run that bottom lane. Actually gained some time there in turn 1 that time by. But what an incredible start to the race we've had so far, and we're only a quarter of the way in. A ways to go still for these guys, to the tune of 59 laps when we get back to the start-finish line, but they go by quickly. I looked up, we passed 20 laps, felt like it hadn't been that long, but that's the battle these guys had put on for the early portion of this race. As Chad French has closed the lead of Christian Schrader up to about a second even, and he will pull within about a second flat here of Christian Schrader. So Chad French is starting to reel in this battle just a little bit. Chad French looking for his first victory of the season, as is Christian Schrader. Schrader has had fast cars across this season. Notably, I think his fastest, his best runs, I think were in Sonoma last week and in Charlotte and also in Fontana. I think those have been his 3 strongest runs of the season. Sonoma last week has a couple self-spins, couple incidents that set him back from getting that win from Tyler Bentley over the course of the race. And also Tyler Bentley just absolutely outstanding last week at Sonoma. And then at Charlotte and Fontana had the fastest car of the series regulars, but could not match up to the speed of Sebastian Marin. So he's looking for a win this week to cap off a season that he probably should have multiple wins. Just ran into the wrong guy at the wrong time, if you will, in the case of Sebastian Marin. Decided to run those 2 races in a part-time role. And then in Sonoma last week, where Tyler Bentley stole the show and ran away with his 8th victory of the season. Perhaps tonight's the night for Christian Schrader. Although hot on his heels, the man who went to victory lane last week, Tyler Bentley, and a man who is just as hungry for a victory in Chad French. By the way, the gap down to 9/10 of a second now between our leader Schrader and the second-place car, Chad French. Matt Hayden has dropped about 2 seconds off the lead after our first pit stop. Not sure what is going wrong there, but some problems for Matt Hayden here on the second run of the race. As Schrader continues to lead. 23 up, 23 down. Lap 24 goes on the board now. 57 laps to go from Pocono. We expect our second round of pit stops to occur somewhere around lap 32. Our second of 4 scheduled green flag stops on the evening. And they will be around lap 32 for our race leaders. Perhaps lap 31 for Cody Eldred, if he continues to run the short pit strategy. So things calm down for a moment here as Bentley continues to try to run down our leader. Chad French has settled in nicely to the third position here. And we have a second to calm down and take a moment. Interesting to note, Bentley's still down on the curbs there in turn number 3. He's on him in turn 1 as well. About the only guy left running on the curb, at least that close to the curb. Strader has transitioned up the racetrack on both ends of the speedway. You see right here, he's going to run right along that second seam. Actually, Bentley follows him there this time, so Bentley is caught on. Now he's looking there for speed as well. And finds some. Doesn't lose as much that time by turn number 1. Down the Long Pond straightaway off into turn number 2. How low does Strader go in 2? He goes right down to the curbs. Actually may clip the curbs. Bentley follows him there as well. And now headed towards turn number 3. The leader Strader actually is going to drop low here in 3. Get close to the curbs one more time. So he's only running high on the turn 1 end of the racetrack. On both the other ends, he's maintaining a pretty decent low line most of the way around the speedway. No real battles further back in the field. We'll give you a quick rundown of where everyone is running. Christian Strader runs first. Tyler Bentley runs in second. Chad French runs third. Matt Hayden runs fourth. And Cody Eldred rounds up the top 5 after that. You got Travis Elliott in 6th. Jimmy Fitzmaurice putting together the beginnings of a nice run. He runs 7th. Eric Kosciolik runs 8th. Adam Kilday runs in the 9th position, up 3 from where he started. And Bo Benham rounds out the top 10. Alex Green, the last car in the lead lap, in 11th. And Hunter Carlson rounding out the 12-car field tonight. So about 6 laps short of our second green flag pit stop of the night. Christian Strader, Tyler Bentley, Chad French, all within about a second of each other here. Pit stops will continue to be an important part of who wins tonight's race. There will be 4 of them, and if it goes wire to wire, knock on wood, it's going to be another race a lot like last week that comes down to pit strategy. So far, purely on speed, Strader's the best car, but Tyler Bentley certainly no slouch. He's been very fast here over the course of this race. Strader, last time by, not the fastest car in the field. In fact, the fastest car in the field is the man running third. Chad French has found some speed here late in the run. He runs about a tenth faster than our leader and a half a tenth faster in second place, Tyler Bentley. Chad French is finding some speed here late, late in the run here in Pocono as he tries to run down our 2 leaders. At the very least, would enjoy a podium finish. Believe it would be one of his first of the season. Certainly the first here on the Turn 3 Racing Network in our broadcasted portion of this season. Would be good to get an opportunity to speak with the man they call Grace Lightning tonight. So far, well inside the podium now, is really pulled away from Matt Hayden. About over 2 seconds separate now, third and fourth. So Hayden kind of settling into his own groove. Going to have to run his own race tonight. As actually Cody Eldred, I believe, has started to run him down just a little bit for the 4th position. It's about 4 laps still here until our second round of green flag pit stops. Pretty much still put the 3 leaders under a blanket. You can see them all in the camera frame right here as they roll through turn 3. Strader's starting to develop a little bit more of a groove, though. Bentley's able to reel him in a little bit, but then Strader opens the gap back up and is able to run away just a tad from our second and third place cars. In turn 1, Christian Strader is still on that second seam. Now he actually goes back to that second lane. Bentley stays on the bottom. And now watch that time there on the left side. Watch that interval. And look at how much he gains by running that high line when somebody runs the bottom in behind him. He picked up about a tenth extra there on the straightaway, just the momentum that carried him off the corner. It's very interesting to see as that continues to develop. Now back down to the curbs there in turn 3. So Weird strategy here for Strader. He's just searching everywhere for speed right now, trying to find just that extra notch of speed. He picks up another 10th that time by. Check the lap times. He runs about 600s faster than the 2 cars running behind him. So Strader has found something here late in a run. You'll see Bentley pull about a 10th back, but then look at how much that gap grows again here off turn number 1. Down towards turn 2, the tunnel turn one more time, and Strader has opened up a groove on lap 30 here from Pocono when he flashes by the start-finish line as he goes through the flat turn 3. Now Bentley closes it back up again. So right as I said, he was working into a groove. Tyler Bentley finds a little bit of speed here late in the run, perhaps trying to gain a little bit more time so that this pit stop results in a little bit closer battle between the two when we get down to it. 2 laps until then. 30 up, 30 down. 50 laps to go here in the season for the OP Racing Throwback Series. And now Tyler Bentley, he has put the loud pedal to the firewall here late in the run as he has picked up a lot of time. It tells me he was managing his stuff, trying to save a little bit so that he could go here late in the run and get right back to the 12 of Christian Strader, seeing as how far he can let him get out there before he has to try to reel him back in. Who's to say Strader wasn't saving himself from the race lead? Into turn 3. Once again, lap 31 on the board. Lap 32 about to go on the board. We flash by the start-finish line once again, and we expect our leaders to be on pit road this time around. As they flash by the start-finish line, there you go. Cody Eldred will pit right when I said he would at the tail end of lap 31. And we'll see if we can get any more time with it. Very interesting to see how close he got to the leaders short pitting. My question will be, can he do it and get ahead of the leaders, perhaps? Travis Elliott, Jimmy Fitzmaurice see it and actually are going to follow him in. Eric Kosciolek pits. Bo Benham pits. So very interesting. Is Bentley within a car length and a half now of Strader through the tunnel turn? And now into turn 3, the 2-horse race to the lead as it has become, and we expect to see these two, along with Chad French, Matt Hayden, Adam Kilday, and Alex Green this time around on the pit lane. You see them leaning to their left. They hit pit lane. Here they come. Bentley. I thought try to get alongside the 12. May have gotten alongside the 12. Not quite. But got awfully close. Second round of pit stops underway here on lap 32. Make it 33 as the leaders all hit their box. Strader slides through. So Strader, tough break here. Bentley takes 2 and leaves. So Bentley, a decisive lead. Strader will drop to 3rd. That moves Chad French to the 2nd position here on the pit cycle. Alex Green may cycle to lead. He has run this long. He cycles to 3rd. But Tyler Bentley all of a sudden has a huge lead. As he takes 2 tires, I believe, on pit road. I believe it was right sides only for the 55. And now separates himself from Christian Strader and Chad French. Cody Eldred bypasses Matt Hayden on pit road and goes to 5th. He'll be 4th here once Alex Green relinquishes the 3rd spot to come to pit road and make his 2nd round of service. There he goes. So Strader moves back to 3rd. And now we'll have to start to chip away at the lead of Tyler Bentley. He's really going to have to be in go mode now. If you're Strader, you got to pick this time back up. And it's a considerable hole that he is in now, 6.5 seconds back of our leader, Tyler Bentley. Another pit stop should be coming for these guys around lap 48. So about 14 laps for Strader to get on his horse and get to work. And try to make up as much of that ground as he can on Tyler Bentley. Chad French has settled nicely into the 2nd position, about 4 seconds back of our leader, Bentley. Eldred about a 1.5 seconds off of Christian Strader. So it'll be interesting to see if Eldred has anything for our top 3. as he short pits and gains positions again. Strader has already picked up about 4/10 so far on the leader. He needs to pick up a lot more than that per lap, though, if he's going to run him down. Can't imagine Bentley is in full go mode here, but Strader certainly is. He picks up about half a second that time by, does Christian Strader, so half a second. By the time we get to the pit stop, if he continues to pick up half a second, he'll be right back to the leader when we come back down pit road. What a lap last time for Christian Strader. Did not mean to do that. What a lap. 54.19 last time for Strader. He is all kinds of on his horse and trying to get elbows up and get back to the leader here. He's doing everything he can. He's got the gap down to 5.8, but now it plateaus a little bit. Not able to gain as much this time by as he did last time by. We'll see if he can continue to gain time on our leader. Now it's down to 5.6, so the gap continues to close here for Tyler Bentley, but the question will be, how much can Strader make up? That's another 4/10 that time by. Going to close in on about 4.5 when we get back to the line. There you can see visibly the gap that he's made up over the course of the past 2 laps. 36 on the board, 45 to go. 4 laps from halfway. Strader, 54.46 last time by to Tyler Bentley's 54.91. 4.5 faster than the leader is Christian Strader. Can he keep it up? Probably not. But interesting nonetheless that he has picked up as much time as he has so far. Cody Eldred, not much for our top 3 so far out of the 4 of Cody Eldred. See Alex Green come up off turn 3 and race down towards turn 1. Strader does not pick up nearly as much that time. Still runs about 0.3 faster than Tyler Bentley, though. The battle for second will be on here shortly. Christian Strader is a man on a mission right now. He's running the fastest lap times that we have seen all day. Over the course of the first 37 laps, by far he's pushing it to the limit, but he has no choice. He has to. In order to catch and pass Tyler Bentley once more, at least be in striking distance. Another great lap in the works for Christian Strader. He's going to pick up almost another half a second right here. He's within a second of second place Chad French, who's also been closing the gap to Bentley just a little bit. Make it within a second here for Christian Strader. 0.9 back of French, 4.5 back of the leader. Strader is a man on a mission. That time by 54.52 to Tyler Bentley's 55.12. 0.6 faster than the race leader. For reference, you see him on the right side of your screen. That battle will be underway here very shortly between Chad French and Christian Strader for second. And this, I believe the second he gets through Chad French, if he can pass him, you can see the 55 in your windshield. I mean, if you think he's running fast now, he's pulled it within 4 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. In 6 laps after the pit stop, he came out 6.5 seconds back of the leader. I mean, this is blistering fast times here from Christian Strader for this part of a run. Hitting the wrong buttons again. Last time by, Bentley 55.39. Strader 54.64. Battle is on for second. French in save mode, Strader in go mode. The mission to get back to Tyler Bentley begins right here, passing Chad French for Christian Strader. He'll go to work on the 93. I imagine once we get back around to the start-finish line. Takes a look, hangs over left, gets back in line. He will look to the inside. This is for second. And on goes Christian Strader. Chad French says, go right ahead. I'm saving my stuff. Go get him. So here we go. Strader has gotten to second. He's 3.3 seconds behind the leader. He's picked up almost 3.5 seconds across the first 8 laps of a run. He's got half a run left to run down Tyler Bentley. 3.2 seconds. We'll check lap times. Last time by Bentley, 55.46. Schrader, 54.97. Still the fastest car on the racetrack. Now the gap evens out as Schrader gets to second. Bentley may see him coming, and may start to pick up the pace a little bit here late in the run now that he's saved a little bit of his stuff. How much shaving can he do, though? Because Schrader is seriously still making pace here in turn 3. He's picked up another 10th. We'll check lap times again. Halfway home in our final race to wrap up this season of the OP Racing Throwback Series. Bentley 55.45 and Schrader a 55.24. Notably, not the fastest car on the racetrack. Matt Hayden last time a 55.14. So Matt Hayden picking up some pace as well. Now Schrader starts to pick up the pace once again. He's inside of 3 seconds. As Bentley hits the tunnel turn with about, I think it's 7 laps until the pit stop. If Schrader can get within a second, I think he's absolutely still in striking distance, barring another mistake on pit road. If he can get to within a second and a half, you could say, well, maybe if Tyler Bentley makes a mistake, maybe he's still in this one. It's 2.7 seconds separating our 2 leaders here off turn number 3. At the line, we'll check it once again. Bentley 55.55. Schrader 55.16. A solid 4 tenths quicker than the leader is Christian Schrader, and he looks to try to continue to get to work. You see Alex Green having some problems. This is also potentially going to depend on how Schrader does in this battle, is how quickly can Tyler Bentley negotiate the lap machine of Alex Green. Schrader's advances have been, for the most part, slowed, not halted, but he's not picking up nearly as much as he has been earlier in the run. Now, that time, through the tunnel turn, he picks up another 3 tenths, so he's within 2.5 seconds now. Bentley knows he's coming. He's got to be looking at his mirror here. He sees that 12 starting to get a little bit bigger in the mirror, within 2.3, 2.4 seconds now as they hit the front stretch once again. He knows he's coming. He knows he just has to survive about 5 more laps with the current gap. And he probably is able to just stretch the gap out again on pit road and make this thing work. Now, the question for Christian Schrader will become, do you short pit this next run and try to pick up the time that you lost? We saw Cody Eldred do it, and it has worked outstanding for him. Does Schrader try to do it and bunny hop Tyler Bentley on the pit stop here? The gains have plateaued. He'll gain another little bit here in turn 2. He's been excellent in turns 2 and 3 today. He may be able to close it within 2 seconds here this time by if he gets another good turn 3. We'll see what he can do. Bentley, I think, is going to be able to hold the gap. Actually picks up a little bit of time here in turn 3 this time by. So it'll stay right about 2.2 seconds between our 2 leaders. 4 laps until we expect to see Tyler Bentley on pit road. The question now becomes, when does Christian Schrader make the hard left and come to pit road? Does he short pit this and run potentially a long run on the last run of the race to try to get in front of Tyler Bentley? He's in range where if he were to short pit, I think he would bypass Tyler Bentley with an extra lap on this next pit cycle. He's within that range. I think he could bunny hop him now. By how much, I don't know. Would, number 1, depend on how fast his pit stop was, and number 2, depend on whether or not he makes a mistake on pit road. And also depends on what Tyler Bentley decides to go with on the pit stop here. Does he take 2 tires again? I can't imagine he will. But still a possibility nonetheless. A better turn 3 for Schrader that time by. He will be right about 2 seconds flat as lap 45 goes on the board. And I am glued to the monitor right now. Just, I mean, incredible stuff here with our leaders. And now a game of strategy, a game of who can run the better lap. Who can find more speed late in a run and really separate themselves from the other. Notably, you talk about Alex Green, how easy it was to negotiate for Tyler Bentley. Very easy that time by. As Green pounds the outside wall there at the exit of the tunnel turn. Strader will have to negotiate him next. The gap is down to 1 second and 6/10. Make it 1.5 seconds between our two leaders. We're right in that zone where I thought Strader could probably still pit with Bentley and be okay. 1.6 seconds this time by. 35 to go from Pocono. 2 pit stops remain in this race. Bentley rolls out early. Strader going to try to pick up a little bit of time on him here in turn 1. He does. Down to 1.45 seconds. Strader is driving the wheels off the 12, trying to make up for the mistake on pit road. He will catch Alex Green here at the tail end of the tunnel turn, I do believe. Alex will probably go way wide here and give Strader as much room as possible. Still 1.4 seconds as Bentley actually stretches it a bit this time. Strader knows he's got to pick up a little bit more if he really wants to keep tabs on Bentley. In the latter part of this run, he does just that. 1.3 seconds separate the two leaders. Strader now has nothing here but clean track between himself and the leader with 2 laps to go till pit stops. Bentley rolls the second lane here of turn number 1. Where does Strader go? He goes up there as well. Bentley, can he stretch the lead any off turn number 1? A little bit, but it stays right about 1.2 seconds. He's going to be in striking distance, folks. He is driven from 6.5 seconds back of the race leader to 1.2 seconds now. Now it's plateauing for Strader, but pit stops are coming up. He was 0.3 quicker last time by than Tyler Bentley as well. Now this time I don't think he's going to be any faster. In fact, loses some time. That's not what you want to see if you're Christian Strader here off turn number 3 as it plateaus big time. He's found all the speed he can find on this run. 1.3 seconds. Eldred pits here this time by. Can he pick up any more time? We'll come to find out. Into turn 1. Probably the final lap here of this third run of the race. Can Strader find anything? Finds a little bit in the middle of the corner. Loses it again on entry. Or on exit, excuse me. So it looks like about 1.4 is going to be where the gap is when they come to pit road. Yeah, he has completely burned the tires off this race car. I should note that he has shredded the tires off this race car, to be fair. He taps the wall. That's, actually not going to cost him that much. Only cost him about 1/10, maybe less. And allows him a little bit better entry here into turn number 3. But the problem is he loses so much of that momentum that now Bentley stretches it to 1.6. Here come the leaders to pit road. Bentley, how much does Strader pick up on entry here? He picked up a little bit. He's got so much short run speed as well that if he gets out anywhere close to Tyler Bentley here, this could be a really interesting battle for the win. Fitzmaurice Kosciulik Benham finished their pit service. Bentley rolls down towards his box. Bentley, can he get in with no problem? Yes. Strader in with no problem that time. Now he slides through it again. Christian Strader slides through his box and is slow to his pit service. So he'll have more ground to make up on Tyler Bentley, but I don't think it's going to be as much this time. Chad French down and away off the jack. Strader down and away off the jack. So definitely less, but slides it out of his pit box. Strader, man, just when it seemed like he had gotten back within striking distance of Bentley, another costly mistake on pit road, and he is 6 seconds back of the leader once again. I will say the gap is a little bit smaller. It's about 7/10 smaller than it was on the first time that this happened, so he has less to gain here. With one more pit stop remaining, I think he's got to get to about that same area to be truly within striking distance, but now he's losing a ton of time. He's bleeding time, and it's 6.5 seconds, and it could potentially be all she wrote for the hopes of Christian Strader in this one. Lap 50 goes on the board. as Bentley continues to lead the way by 3.3 seconds here over Chad French. And if you're Schrader, man, you're kicking yourself for the second pit stop in a row. He makes a mistake right as he got to within striking distance of Bentley, and this time not gaining nearly the amount of time that he was on the last run. And so that could be all she wrote here for Christian Schrader's hopes of going to victory lane. It was a valiant effort, but unfortunately, cell phone mistakes on pit road on each of the last two pit stops have put Schrader in a serious hole. As we roll off turn 3, 30 laps to go here from Pocono Raceway. One pit stop remains for Tyler Bentley. We expect that to be around lap 64. And you see now in the top left of your screen, Schrader not nearly picking up the time that he did on the last run. So Tyler Bentley, I believe, has picked up the pace just a little bit as we get to the tail end of this one. I believe he has picked it up a little bit. And is now going to try to run away from Schrader and the rest of the field here. With 30 laps to go. Not really any battles on the racetrack currently. Matt Hayden about 9/10 in front of Cody Eldred. That's for the 4th position. But other than that, not a ton of battles here on the racetrack. Very separated field. Travis Elliott has called it a night. So not sure what happened to Travis Elliott. We'll see if we can find it for you, but something obviously has happened to Travis Elliott. Try to go back and take a look here at what happened to the 51. Oh, boy. Coming out of pit road here, this was his pit service on the second stop of the race. Whoa. Not sure what happened there. Perhaps a technical issue, but nonetheless, Travis Elliott is out of tonight's race. He will finish in the 12th position. As 28 laps remain here from the Pocono Raceway. It's still Bentley, French, Schrader, Hayden, and Eldred, your top 5. As we hit the Long Pond straightaway, Tyler Bentley is one perfect pit stop away from capping a championship season with a 9th trip to victory lane. With the field as spread out as it is, I don't know if I'd expect anything to change, barring, obviously, mistakes on pit road, which we've seen plague Christian Schrader tonight. Likely have ended his chance to win this event. You can see how much that car gets way out of shape on the straightaway. These things are not driving very well for these drivers. Nonetheless, they're able to make it work. Tyler Bentley is now the fastest car on the racetrack. He has pressed the go button here. With 27 laps to go at Pocono, he has turned on the afterburners and now starts to try to run away from the remainder of the field. And cap what has been nothing short of a flawless season. Schrader has plateaued. About 6.4 seconds is as close as he can get to our race leader. Now you start to ask the question, if you're one of those cars running second, third, fourth, do you perhaps short pit here and try to leapfrog Tyler Bentley in track position? Maybe take a right sides only on the pit stop. Perhaps you do something a little bit out of the box to try to beat the 55 tonight, but that's what it's going to take, at least if the race stays green and if it stays going as it has so far. battle started to shape up just a little bit for third position as we look at Christian Strader. As Matt Hayden has run him down just the slightest bit within 9/10. And Strader continues to run down Chad French for potentially the second position. As the tower ticks over, it indicates we are into our final 25 laps of this season. Good run tonight for Jimmy Fitzmaurice. He runs in the 6th position. Eric Kosciolek in the 7th position. Good runs for those two tonight. Runs that they wanted to have, I'm sure. Good run for Cody Eldred inside the top 5. He's shown some speed at times tonight. One of the top 5 cars in the field. And showing some serious speed. Tyler Bentley continues to lead. Down the long pond straight away. Oh, I tried to... There it goes. It says Tyler Bentley's in the pit lane. He's obviously not. We'll get that fixed. There it goes. Tyler Bentley is very obviously not on the pit lane as we run right now. As Bentley continues to run away from the field, put about 5 seconds on Chad French, 7 seconds on Christian Strader, who continues to fall into the clutches of Matt Hayden here late in the going. So we wait for this battle to materialize, as now only 7/10 of a second separate these two cars. Strader, I'm not sure what's happened here late in the race, but just no speed underneath that 12 car anymore to speak of. 6/10 now separate himself and Matt Hayden. Not sure what the issue is there. But nonetheless, he's now getting run down just the slightest bit here for third. As Bentley and French continue to run away. Cody Eldred is actually starting to make up some ground on these cars as well. So as Bentley flashes by, it'll be 22 to go here from Pocono. We are to almost the final quarter of the race. We expect our final round of green flag pit stops here in the next 6 laps for our leaders. We'll continue to keep an eye on this battle for third that is materializing between Christian Strader and Matt Hayden. Up off turn 1. Matt Hayden closes to within 3/10 now of Strader, who appears to be down some straightaway speed. I don't see any damage on this car. Perhaps the decision to take only 2 tires on that last pit stop, but it sure looked like he took 4, so not sure what the issue is on Strader's machine, but nonetheless, Matt Hayden has started to reel him in from 4th. As we approach our final pit stop of the night and our final pit stop of this season. Tyler Bentley almost a 10th faster than the next best car. That'd be Matt Hayden right now as they run on the racetrack. He's 2/10 quicker than French, 2/10 quicker than Christian Strader. Hayden goes a lane higher here than Strader does. In turn 2, does he gain him anything? Not really. He's experimenting, trying to find a line that works. Tyler Bentley will flash past the start-finish line here just in front of these guys. And that means 20 laps to go in this season. And Strader is coming to pit road. So, not sure what the issue is, but he will come extremely early for his final run here of the race. Not sure what the issue becoming here on the 12 machine, but nonetheless, he will make the hard left and come to pit road. We expect to see Tyler Bentley in 4 laps for his final work of the season. His final pit service of his Throwback Series season. The Buckeye Racing Network Nitro 55 Ford Taurus. New for this race. And he has been outstanding as always. Just as good as advertised is Tyler Bentley. Almost wonder if Strader is just trying to short pit to gain some time back here on the leaders. We know short pitting works, and especially if you can do it with a few laps to spare here on old tires, you might be able to pick up some considerable time once we get to the end of this race. I don't know how much it'll gain him. I don't think it'll gain him the entire 7 or so seconds he lost to our leaders before, but it may gain him a considerable amount of that back, may put him 3rd or even 2nd in the latter portions of this race. So a track position game here for Strader, and he's picked up quite a bit of time already, a considerable amount on our race leaders, so we'll see what kind of gains he can make off of the pit lane, as he's already picked up over a second. Now starts to pick up even more than that. It'll be really interesting to see where this shakes the 12 out on this pit cycle. We expect Bentley in 2 laps. There's 18 laps to go here at Pocono. Bentley is coasting the car here in turn 1. Odd, he had the car off there at the end of the front straightaway. I don't think he can possibly expect to make it the full 32 laps. He's got a car off again. This is strange from Tyler Bentley. I don't know what the thinking is here. I wish I could tell you. I have no idea. I really don't. Car's off again for Tyler Bentley here, this time by in turn 3. Well, the problem I have with this strategy, number 1, is that Strader's already made a pit stop and stayed on the lead lap doing it. And it started to pick up a ton of time. So if Bentley can't make it, if none of the leaders can make it, as Eldred, yeah, he pits right here on with 17 to go. If Bentley tries to stretch this, I think Chad French may be trying to stretch it as well. Let's listen to Chad French's car as we head towards turn number 2. Perhaps see if he has turned the car off as well. I think he's got it off. I'm telling you what, I think he's got that car off on the straightaways. Let's see if he turns the car off here as we head onto the front stretch. We'll keep the tower up for you there for scoring on the left side of your screen. Evan doesn't have it off there. Now he's coming to pit road. Bentley, I'm going to tell you what, Bentley may be, this is a bold strategy. He may be trying to make it the remainder of the race. Holy cow. Tyler Bentley. I mean, he is way slow here off turn 1. Like, way off the pace. I mean, he's going to get overtaken for sure by Hayden and French if he can't make it. In fact, even if he does make it, I think he might. He's still got the car off. Have these guys just potentially handed a win to Christian Strader? What in the world could Tyler Bentley be thinking here? Even if he pits, he's given up so much time to Strader. And he's coming to pit road. That was so odd from Tyler Bentley there in the latter part of that pit run. Now the car to watch is Christian Strader, who, ladies and gentlemen, all of a sudden has passed Chad French and Matt Hayden. Could he do the same with Bentley here? My goodness, what a development here in the latter part of the race at Pocono. Strader's now in turn 3. He's onto the front stretch. Can he beat Bentley off pit road? Bentley's up on the jack. He's down off the jack. He's taking right side tires. Does he take 4? He does. Strader bypasses him. New leader in Pocono, Christian Strader. Now the question will be the remainder of the race. Does he have the fuel to make the end of the event? Chad French has bypassed Tyler Bentley on pit road. And Matt Hayden's in this as well. Ladies and gentlemen, all of a sudden we got a really good one here in the Pocono Raceway. Is Tyler Bentley, I don't know what he was trying to do, and luckily we'll get to talk to him here in 15 laps to see what he was thinking on this last run of the race. If he doesn't go to victory lane after this, I don't know what to say. I mean, obviously he's got the championship locked up, but a race he had won. And now I tell you, I think Strader's saving now. Yeah, he is. He's got 10 seconds to work with. He's way off the throttle here in turn 1. He's trying to save gas. Ladies and gentlemen, what I thought was going to be a pretty straightforward event has turned into a fuel strategy race. Holy cow. What a way to end this season. 3-car battle for second. Do you see them here? They're 9 seconds behind leader Christian Strader. French going to try everything he's worth here to hold off Tyler Bentley, because he knows if Strader runs out of gas, this is the de facto battle for the win. A long ways to go for Christian Strader. 13 laps that time by. French a long time to hold off Tyler Bentley, who will certainly be looking for that second spot. Could end up being the win. Still a long distance to play with here for Strader. He can save a lot of gas if he wants to and wait and go late in the race. Bentley goes on by French. That's for second, so Bentley pulls back forward now. He's on the loud pedal. He's 8 seconds back. Strader still has 8 seconds to work with here with 13 laps to go. Oh, but he almost spins the car. That's not going to help. He got on the curbs there with the left side tires. I think he underestimated how slow he was going to be going with the car off, saving gas. 7 seconds separate our two leaders. You got to go a little bit here on the straightaway. If you're Strader, you can give up a little bit now once you get back into gas. 7 seconds, 12 laps to go. And we checked lap times. We'll wait for Bentley to cycle back past the line. It's a 54.19 for Strader. Or excuse me, a 55.68. Bentley, a 54.15. At that pace, he'll catch him in the next 4 laps, and this won't matter anyway. So Strader's got to go. He's going to hope he has saved enough fuel here in the next 3 laps or so before Bentley gets to him that he can get on the loud pedal and go. He's only got to save, I think, about 4 laps worth. Maybe about 3 laps worth. For reference, we saw Alex Green go 17 laps earlier in the race. I think he only has to save about 4 laps, maybe 3 laps worth of gas. The second, and I mean the second he does that, he can go. He can put the pedal to the firewall and get back into the gas. He's given up more time. It's 6 seconds, but Bentley did not gain as much of that time by, about a second even. 55.28. Bentley runs a 54.37 at that pace. It's going to take Bentley about 6 more laps from right now, almost 7 to catch Strader at the pace he is currently running. For Christian Strader, you just got to hope you can save enough gas here. If you can't save enough gas, it doesn't matter anyway. Five and a half seconds. So Bentley, again, the gains are about the same. It's about a second a lap, maybe 9/10. And if you're Strader, you got to start to think about picking it up. He's within 5 seconds. And coming to 10 laps to go, and Strader's going to bail out of the lead. He cannot make it. He tried, but was not able to make it work, and that hands the lead back over to Tyler Bentley in the 55. 10 laps to go from the Pocono Mountains here in the finale for the OP Throwback Series. A nice battle here for the second position between Chad French and Matt Hayden, perhaps, is brewing. In the final moments of this race, the final moments of this season, the battle begins to brew here between Chad French and Matt Hayden for the second position, but all three of these drivers, barring a severe issue here, should finish on the podium. Cosciolo and Kilday, this battle's for sixth. Battle begins to fizzle out again. It'll be 9 laps to go as we bypass the start-finish line. Tyler Bentley, about a second gap here on Chad French in the 93, and Matt Hayden in the 6. As we've reached the final about 20 miles of this OP Racing Throwback Series, and the twists and turns apparently have made their way to this final race of the season. What an event we've had here in Pocono. I mean, twists and turns to really shake things up here late in the going. Christian Strader, I'll tell you what, for a split second, he had me convinced he had the best strategy on the racetrack. He has to bail out of the lead and pit, but nonetheless, maybe do a double take there for a quick moment. 8 laps to go for Bentley and the rest of the field, as Jimmy Fitzmaurice is multiple laps down in 10th, just ahead of leader Tyler Bentley, and Bo Benham is just in front of him, trying to remain on the lead lap. Don't know how hard Tyler Bentley will press it here. Fitzmaurice is in the wall. Bentley's got to try to negotiate this, but Fitzmaurice gets out of the way. And the question now will be, how hard does Bo Benham fight the leader? Tyler Bentley is still... Chad French is lurking here. If Bentley were to make a mistake or have to negotiate a lap car, struggle with negotiating a lap car, French is there to pounce. Chad French by no means out of this race quite yet. So here we go. Benham will be lapped by leader Bentley here in a moment. 7 laps to go from Pocono. Into turn number 1. Benham way up out of the way, and that is a lot easier than I perhaps thought it might be. So Bentley once again sets sail and now has a considerable amount of clean track ahead of him for the remaining 7 laps of this race. As Kosciolek and Kilday would be the next 2 to be lapped, but they're a considerable distance here in front of Tyler Bentley. Here they are in the middle of turn 3. Bentley up off the corner, down the line. It'll be 6 more times around Pocono. The gap has grown here to about a second and a half. Chad French is doing everything he can, but Bentley's starting to open up a gap. 55.19 for Bentley, 55.37. Fastest car on the racetrack is Christian Strader, and it's not really close. The problem is he's 29 seconds behind the race leader. So we'll need the benefit of a caution at the tail end of this race for him to get back into this one. And with the field as separated as it is, I don't think we're going to get one before this race goes checkered. Through turn 3 again. And off onto the front stretch. You can imagine Barney the flagman gives the hand signal for 5 laps to go out the flag stand, signaling to our leader Tyler Bentley that there are indeed 5 laps left in the season finale here in Pocono. And for Tyler Bentley, these laps not really going to feel like an eternity. He locked the championship up last week in Sonoma. Knew he was going to be the champion coming into tonight, but 5 laps to begin to celebrate for Bentley as he closes in on a 9-win season, a win rate of over 50% of the races in this season. An incredible effort. It will be talked about for a long time in OP and in the Throwback Series. Battle just ahead of the leader. That's Kashiolik and Kilday, still separated by about 0.6 of a second. Other than that, no battles to be heard of here on this racetrack. 4 more times around for Tyler Bentley. And for Bentley, we talked to him multiple times over the past 16 weeks, and he tells us every time he's in victory lane, it's all consistency. It's all, practice and hit your marks. That's the biggest thing that contributes to his success. Is that week in, week out, he just continues to find new ways to be fast, to find speed. He finds new lines that have speed. He finds new strategy that has speed. But he has always told me it's just he wants to always be consistent, and that's what he thinks is the number one contributing factor to his success. And it certainly has been the case over the course of the last 16 weeks. 3 laps to go here from Pocono. The battle has cooled off between Chad French and Matt Hayden. They are separated by over a second. The leaders separated by a ways here. No pressure out back for Hayden either from Cody Eldred or Christian Schrader. For Schrader, it's another missed opportunity. A race that at times he felt like he should have won. Had chances to win, and a couple mistakes on pit road cost him dearly here tonight in the season finale. We look forward to potentially seeing him back in Season 2. He will be a force to be reckoned with in the second season of this series. For sure will be one of the favorites week in, week out. As we reach into that second season. Off turn number 3. 2 more circuits here for Tyler Bentley. Another sign out the flag stand from Barney the Flagman. The popsicle sticks, if you will, indicating 2 to go. As Bentley nears his 9th victory. And I got to imagine this is going to be a pretty happy, pretty celebratory Tyler Bentley tonight as he officially closes the book on his season. He can finally take a breath after the dominance he has demonstrated over the past 16 weeks. What a season it's been for all these drivers and for this series as a whole. And what a pleasure it has been for me to get to call it. And what a future this series has. What a bright future that we have. For the final time here in season number 1, white flag is out. One more lap around Pocono Raceway. Tyler Bentley, the pure dominance he has shown over the past 16 weeks. 2 different instances winning 3 races in a row. In this case, he's going to go back-to-back to end the season with wins at Sonoma and Pocono. In fact, I believe it will be his 3rd three-peat, as he won Dover the week before. Unbelievable season for Tyler Bentley. Purely dominant, unstoppable, undeniable. And now is his moment to be crowned as he rounds the wide turn 3 one more time. He'll crown it in the best way possible with a victory and a trip to Pocono Raceway Victory Lane. Tyler Bentley wins the season finale in Pocono and is your Season 1 OP Throwback Series champion. Already revving the motor there in turn 1. He is ready to burn this place down as he gets a much-deserved victory to end a flawless season. We'll let him make the rounds to celebrate here on the front stretch. As Matt Hayden going to give him a little celebratory bump here down the Long Pond straightaway. And they both rev there in turn 2. We'll give him his moment to shine here, his moment to celebrate as we close this season. I'd imagine the celebration will be hearty here for him on the front stretch. As he comes off turn 3, he's got plenty of room to do it here on this long, wide front straightaway. A burnout for the ages incoming for the Season 1 Throwback Series champ, and the winner tonight at Pocono, Tyler Bentley. Bentley, the driver from Mansfield, Ohio, his first OP Racing Championship, comes here on Thursday nights. He can officially celebrate it now. He locked it up last week. Tonight, we will speak to him as the champion here in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We're going to get you your finishing results first, and then we'll have interviews with your top 3 finishers tonight, including your Season 1 OP Throwback Series champion, Tyler Bentley. Stick around as we go through your finishing results here from the Pocono Raceway. Tyler Bentley, the 9th win of the season for the driver of the 55. He caps off his season with a victory. Chad French, how about Grease Lightning tonight? Gets on the podium with a second-place run for the 93 machine. And Matt Hayden was the fastest car in qualifying and certainly was part of that incredible battle at the beginning of the race. Bounced back from some early pit struggles and managed to finish in the 3rd position. Cody Eldred, the short pit strategy works out for him. He finishes 4th tonight. And in fact, I just got the information. He only had about 0.4 gallons of fuel left at the line, so it barely works. But hey, it works nonetheless for Cody Eldred. Christian Strader, man, one that he would love to have back, I'm sure. He finishes 5th tonight. Adam Kilday finishes in 6th. Eric Kosciolek finishes 7th. Bo Benham in 8th. And Hunter Carlson in 9th. And Jimmy Fitzmaurice rounds out the top 10. Final 2 cars in the field tonight, Alex Green and Travis Elliott. We're going to grab your top 3 for interviews. Don't go anywhere. We will start with the man who finished in the 3rd position tonight. A man who actually, ironically enough, is still sitting on the racetrack. Fitting. We're about to go grab him for an interview here. And we'll get an idea of what he has to say. The driver from Bryan, Arkansas, Matt Hayden, finishes 3rd tonight. Hey, Matt, it's Dawson up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, I got you, bud.
Well, you come home 3rd tonight, a wire-to-wire green flag race that came down to pit strategy. First off, I'm gonna ask all 3 of you guys this. Take me through that first stretch of the race, that first run. We saw you guys, tangle back and forth for the lead. We saw the lead switch hands about 6 or 7 different times in the first 12 laps of the race. Take me through that sequence and what that was like in a chaotic start to this one.
Yeah, it was some really close race, and I'm glad everyone raced really clean. I had a couple of mistakes up front, and those guys gave me room. You're fighting push loose through each corner, and I was just I didn't know what kind of pace everyone had, so I thought that I'd run hard for that first stint, and the car started to fall back on me, and so we gave up some of those spots, and then just had to fight back the rest of the race. So it, we kind of lost focus and felt like we were losing, and then to just lock back in and just managed lap time, and that brought us back up to get here to talk to you.
Well, certainly a great night for you. You come back to finish 3rd, you bounce back, and it's a consistent season for you. We saw you finish up front quite a bit, have a lot of speed all season long. So, take a second, reflect on your season as you come home with a good points finish as well.
Yeah, we I appreciate OP for putting this thing together with these Gen 4s. A lot of people are scared to run these things just because you have high horsepower and not a lot of grip. But if you can get out here with a group of guys like this that can handle these kind of cars, like you saw, when you get 4 or 5 guys sliding around each other, it's some of the best racing iRacing has to offer. And I hope this is kind of we're getting ready to kick off a new season here pretty soon, and I hope this kind of shows everyone how much fun these cars can be. When you're running next gen and you're just struggling to find power to pass, these cars definitely have it. They're a handful. I'm still trying to get grips with tire wear. I can be faster than lightning on the first part of a run. But then, guys like Tyler and them can just keep the car underneath them for a long stretch of run. So I also congratulations to him on the championship. He definitely whooped our ass.
Still a good season for you. And as we approach that new season, firstly, can we expect you back in season 2? And then secondly, if we can expect you back, what do we expect from you next season?
Yeah, I definitely, like I said, if everything goes good and we get good turnout, I definitely want to be back for this following season. This first season I've run competitively in Gen 4s, I've done some open or some official stuff and just some fun hosted sessions and stuff from time to time. So, just kind of honing in on pace. And you saw it, a lot of these races, green flag from start to finish on a lot of these races, which says a lot about the guys that are in here. But also, just the respect that people have for the cars and space to drive these monsters. So it'll be fun coming up, get good guys in this core group, and we'll look to expand and get some other good guys in here and hopefully put on one hell of a show.
Well, we absolutely hope to see that next season. One more time here in this first season, though, we got you up here for a second. Anybody like to thank or shout out?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody back, main group with Misfit Motorsports. I want to thank my son Austin for watching behind me. Just everyone share the broadcast to Alex, everybody out there. Appreciate everybody watching, and look forward to seeing you guys next year.
Well, we appreciate you talking to us for a second. Congratulations on a fantastic run tonight, a third-place effort, and we will see you next season.
Thank you, Dawson.
Matt Hayden in the 6th, your third-place finisher tonight. It takes us the man who finished in the 2nd spot here tonight. And that is Grease Light, the number 93 of Chad French. Good to finally get to talk to him this season as he comes home with a 2nd place finish. Hey, Chad, it's Dawson to the booth. You get a copy?
10-4, sir. I got you.
A 2nd place effort for you tonight. Showed speed really across the entire race. You managed it and come home 2nd tonight. First question, and I asked Matt the same thing. Take me through the first about 15 laps of the race. We saw you guys slip and sliding all around each other, the front 4, trading the lead back and forth, taking turns up front, and it was really incredible racing. Take me through that first sequence.
Yeah, man, that was some really tight racing there. I don't know how much, the front 2 were holding back, and it's just kind of all staying together, but we were just running identical lap times. I think we were all kind of playing chicken with the fuel game because we knew this was going to go pretty much caution free and it's going to be a fuel game. So I think that was all in our minds from the outset. So that's why we all kind of probably seeing each other, what each other was going to do with that.
Well, y'all put on a show for sure the first run, and it comes down to fuel strategy at the end. You come home 2nd. It's another consistent finish in what was a very, very solid season for you. So take a second, reflect on your season, and how do you feel about the season that you had?
Man, I feel pretty good about it. It's I started off a little rough, inconsistent, and I just was trying all year, man, to get this opportunity to talk to you up here, and I finally got it here in the last race. About halfway through the season is when I really kind of started hitting my stride with the pace. But what plagued me was just mistakes. I would make a few crucial mistakes in every race, whether it be on pit road or missing a corner or two, and that's why I could never quite bring it all the way home. But tonight, I didn't make any mistakes, and that's what it's all about. If you want to hang with these guys like Matt and Tyler, man.
Definitely took away the mistakes tonight. It works out for you. It pays off with a 2nd place finish. So as we move into another season, and we know a new season is coming, number 1, can we expect to see you in that new season? And number 2, if you do come back, what can we expect out of the 93 next season?
I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to be running next season. You may see me. I'm not sure yet. I think, though, that if I'm back, I think hopefully I'm going to be. You'll see the consistency you've seen in these past 3 or 4 races where I can hang with these guys and really put on a show. So consistency is really what I think I've learned over with running these with these guys this season. These guys are so fast, and I've learned so much from them.
Well, absolutely. You come home second tonight. I've got you up here for a second. Anybody like to thank or shout out on the way out the door here in season 1?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody up that work with me, Hayden, Sean, Tyler, Alan, Anthony, all these guys who tune in to Turn 3 every week and watch me and support old Grease Lightning. I want to thank Alex for putting this on, and I also want to thank my wife for putting up with all my iRacing foolishness all year. So.
All right, well, thanks for talking to me here for a second. Congratulations on a second-place run. Congratulations on a fantastic, solid season for you, and we'll look forward to potentially seeing you next season.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Chad French, the 93, and that brings us to the man of the hour, the man who locked up a championship last week. A man you saw he celebrated, you saw what it meant to him. The Season 1 OP Racing Throwback Series champion, the 55 of Tyler Bentley, tonight's race winner. Hey, Tyler, it's Dawson in the booth. You get a copy?
Sir, I got you.
Well, you finish off an incredible season, a dominant season, the only way that I'm sure we all figured you would, and that is a trip to victory lane. So, first of all, we saw some good racing tonight. Take me through, first of all, that first sequence, the first 12 to 15 laps. Man, it was back and forth. You guys were tangling for the lead, jumping in front of each other, sliding all over the place, slipping, sliding. We were 3 wide at one point even for the race lead. Take me through that first sequence.
Yeah, it was a blast. I mean, Matt and Chad and me and Christian, we were all running nose to tail, and I know a couple times there was a point where I could make a move to the inside of, I think we were 3 wide at one point going into turn 3, and just having a blast and, enjoying what I think was, the last race of this first season. I think everybody had a good time, and, it was really fun. That first run was really fun.
Well, definitely was. The race turned into a fuel strategy race after that, and we see the mistake from Christian on pit road on that run. I want to know, what were you thinking? You saw Christian, he was about 6 seconds back, and all of a sudden you look up, the gap's about 1.5 seconds. What was going through your mind when you saw Christian putting down some blazing lap times, kind of closing up the lead to you there late in the race?
Well, to be honest with you, me and my spotter, we tried something out, and we took 2 tires at one point there, and I think that was that run. So towards the tail end of that run, I had kind of fallen off quite a bit because I only put on rights. And I knew he was going to be coming. I saw him from 6 seconds back, and I just kept watching the timing, and I saw him keep eating away. And I was like, well, I can only do what I can do with these 2 tires, so, whatever happens, happens. But he was super fast tonight, and I know he had the mistake there. I think he had one more mistake on pit road, or a couple more mistakes on pit road. I think he overshot his pit box, and then he pitted too soon there at the very end of the race and had to come back down and take fuel. But he had a really good car tonight, so I know the finish doesn't show that, but, he had a really good run.
Absolutely, he did. Well, you closed the season where it was nothing less than dominance. I called it a flawless season for you. 9 wins in 16 races. You cap it off with a victory tonight. Reflect on that season. First of all, what it means to you to be a champion here in this series, but also just reflect on what a season it was for you.
I mean, I don't think as a driver, you could, even think about having a season like this. If you get into league racing, with the talent in these leagues, and you're just hoping to win 1, 2, or at the max you think maybe 3 wins. But I just kept my head down every race and focused, and I minimized mistakes as much as I could throughout the season, and just drove my heart out, and just had a blast doing it. I've really enjoyed running this car. This Gen 4 car is such a blast. But this season as a whole, I won on many different types of tracks. I know I got to win at Martinsville earlier in this season. That's one of my favorite tracks of all time, so that was a pretty big highlight for me. And then the battle that me and Isaiah had earlier in the season at Darlington and at other tracks early on in the season, that was a definite highlight of this season.
Certainly a fantastic season for you. Several moments to look back on for sure. But now we look forward, and I got to ask, can we expect you back next season? And if so, what can we expect in the second version of this series from the 55?
Well, I've been talking about it with my team, and we're thinking about running Road to Pro. If we do that, then it's going to interfere with Thursday nights. So I may be able to run a few, but I don't know if I'll be running the entire season. Here, it's definitely a fun league. You know, anybody that's out there watching, these cars are a blast. It's just we're thinking about running the Road to Pro season, which those races are the same time as this one on Thursday nights. So I'll probably be here for a few of them when I can, and still enjoy it no matter what.
Well, absolutely, and if that is the case, we certainly wish you and your team the best. And as we head out the door here in Season 1, you're in victory lane. You're also the Season 1 champion. So while I've got you here for a second, for the last time this season, anybody like to thank or shout out?
I definitely want to thank my team, DFCTR, and want to thank Tim Henderson. He's been on my box the past couple races, spotting and calling the race for me and providing the awesome paint schemes. I know there was a brand new paint on the card this evening that was created by him for me, so always thanks to him and DFCTR, and a big thanks to Alex Green for starting this back up, because I heard this was once a thing before, so definitely glad to get this started back up and be a part of it.
Well, absolutely it is. Congratulations tonight on another victory, your 9th of the season. Congratulations as well on being the Season 1 OP Racing Throwback Series champion. A fantastic season for you. Go celebrate it and go enjoy it, and we will see you soon.
All right, take care.
Tyler Bentley, our winner tonight from Pocono, our Season 1 champion of the OP Racing Throwback Series. And you heard Matt Hayden, Chad French. They're going to be back next season for Season 2 most likely. Tyler Bentley, Road to Pro. Good luck to him and his team if that is the route that they decide to take. Certainly a big opportunity in that area if they decide to do so. That's going to just about do it. What a season it was. Seriously, I mean, you could not have asked for some better racing, some better moments tonight. I feel like it was a microcosm of the entire season. When we started with that scramble for the lead, some of the great racing we've seen. We had some pitch strategy tonight. The race goes wire to wire, caution-free here tonight from Pocono. And what an event it was tonight. What a season it was. It capped it off perfectly, I would say, for a season that has had a little bit of everything. And I cannot wait to see what we do in the future. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. We will be back on Thursday nights. I'm just not exactly sure when. It'll be at least probably about a month or so as we try to expand the league, expand the driver base, and get you some new, fresh faces for next season. But expect to see a lot of the familiar ones back for another season next season. It'll be 4 or 5 weeks at least until we get it back going, but I hope to see all of you right back here on Turn 3 Racing Network as we get started once again on Thursdays. It's been a joy to call this series. I'm grateful to Alex and the OP admins for giving me the opportunity, giving me the privilege to call this series and bring the action to all of you. And I certainly cannot wait to be back in Season 2. Programming notes for you here on the way out the door. Head to the Ghost Racing Network right now for PGR Thursday night. The Don Merck 48 tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. Austin Green and Matthew Baker will have you all the way home there on Ghost Racing Network. Myself, I'm not going to be in there tonight, but definitely go check out that product. It's going to be awesome. Some great racing, probably already underway over there on the Ghost Racing Network. Make sure to stick around Turn 3 Racing Network over the coming weeks as the Monday and Wednesday Super Speedway Series get into full swing. Monday open on Monday evening with a win by Gabe Butler to open up the season, and last night's Wednesday Series as the defending champion Cody Nagels has 2 wins already to his name on that season. Saturdays on Max Speed TV with Josh and Jeremy Medlock. Go check those guys out as well. The OP Racing Saturday Super Speedway Series, the Butt Kicker Unlimited Series over there with the Xfinity cars. And other than that, come check out our broadcast on Ghost Racing Network of Ron Morris Racing's Tuesday Night Thunder on Tuesday, as well as the Round of 8 playoff event over there on Tuesday night that was postponed this past week. That's going to all but do it. Once again, a huge thank you to everybody who came out and watched all season. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I'm always so grateful of every opportunity I get to do this. I'm glad you guys continue to allow me to do this. It's been so much fun, and I look forward to the future from here on out. Congratulations again to Tyler Bentley on winning the race tonight and the championship here in the OP Racing Throwback Series. Hope everybody comes back next season. We will see you then for a fresh new season with fresh new faces and a whole lot more action in the Gen 4 race cars. That's going to do it for me. My name is Dawson.